further ado, here it is.
Make a note. Give it to Kathy, who may be the best at this. Since we're going to wish people a happy Rosh Hashanah, which is my idea and a good idea, just don't forget to check when Ramadan is. We have to wish all of our Muslim friends happy Ramadan. Happy Ramadan.
Osama bin Laden.
Happy Ramadan.
Osama bin Laden.
Happy Ramadan.
Osama bin Laden.
Happy Ramadan.
Osama bin.
Happy Ramadan. Happy Ramadan.
Long live
Osama bin Laden.
Long live Osama bin Laden.
We have contributed to making a cult figure out of Osama
Bin Laden.
See, Osama bin Laden,
his stated goal,
wants to destroy America.
at least he said it to me.
That's what I say to the American people. We've never seen this kind of evil before.
The new mandators throw off the tattered, tasseled layers of horse shit. The bottom line, we are the real movement. We're the people who have the job of exposing big-time mainstream news as the frauds they are. Along the way, we've encountered some strange ghouls and goblins, just to sketch in a few recent editions. Scott Pelley, CBS, is careful to watch himself. His tendency to shove the message down the viewer's throat like a pro surgeon making an incision without bothering to administer an anesthetic. Pelley's been working to correct that. He's a high-Q android who's training himself to be human, and it's not going well. Diane, formerly of ABC, Don't Cry For Me America Sawyer, wandered into sloppiness. She poured syrup on her words as if she'd had a few cocktails before breakfast. She affected a pose of caring too much and refusing to apologize for it. I'm suffering for humanity and I won't cover it up. Sniff, sniff. But being put out to dry for lying and being shot in Iraq, Brian Williams, NBC, was head and shoulders above his competitors. You had to look and listen very hard to spot even a speck of confusion in his delivery. He knew exactly how to believe his act was real. He could also flick a little "oh shucks" apple pie at the viewer, country boy who moved to the big city. Of course, Brian is now back. His bosses let him sneak in the side door at MSNBC, the only major news channel with ratings lower than Howdy Doody reruns. Brian just let loose with a sober, reasoned criticism of fake news sites the other day, claiming the real news has a responsibility to shoulder the load of truth. He neglected to mention he was kicked out of the news business for spreading fake news about himself. But no problem. The past is dead and he's a new man thanks to the love of his family and his deep reflections on character, mission, devotion, fidelity, and shilling for his masters. Those are a few of the ghouls among many.
Equally as formidable in the sense of being, I would use the word evil.
Evildoers.
The battle of good against evil.
We're in the middle of the death throes of the old guard, and we need to recognize that they're going away. Independent media are taking over. It's called decentralization. Blackouts and censorship are the only weapons they have left, and guess how they're trying to make that happen? They're appealing to social media, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Google, which, through its rankings, is a form of social media. Amazing.
Don't go to hell. Please, I beg you, don't go to hell.
Social media numbers are far higher than those of major newspapers and television news. When CNN started out as the first 24/7 all-news global network, they were the rebels. They were the new faces and the interlopers, and they were hell-bent on muscling into the game. Of course, their predilection for honesty was just another con. Eventually, they turned into the media giants they purportedly hated. And now, with their rankings in the tank, they can't go back. They're trapped. They can't reinvent themselves as new kids on the block. They're slow. They're Clinton fellow travelers. They are racists accusing other people of being racists. They're basically a bunch of miscreants who, if they didn't have their jobs, would be lucky to land gigs pumping gas in Death Valley. It's a sight to behold.
Every bit as strongly as they hold theirs. And now is the time to show it.
For the most part, Fox, another upstart, became a parade of young blondes who, one after another, rose and then fell. Remembering their names was like remembering winners of the Miss America pageant.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil.
George Bush looks as if he may go into this as a boy and come out a man.
I think he has a tremendous asset in this crisis, and that is his simplicity.
The American people,
he feels more and more like the commander-in-chief.
He was Jimmy Stewart tonight.
Thank you.
Megyn Kelly, the latest edition, thinks she's immune from that fate. Watch out, Em. A few years from now, you could become just another tired face on one of the major networks' morning gab shows, listening attentively to some tattooed teen rocker talk about the drop of his latest album, his interest in wildlife sanctuaries, and his love of brisket sandwiches from some New York City deli 300 million Americans have never heard of. It's all going away. Bye-bye.
Stop it.
You have a choice. You can read, listen to, and watch any of 100,000 sites and blogs for your news. Or you can attach yourself like a barnacle to the slow-moving, spewing ships of state and corporate media. You can hope that the consensus status quo will hold, and reality will basically remain unchanged. Or you can dump that fairy tale. You can believe that all significant events on this planet emerge organically, randomly, accidentally, or you can investigate the concept that elite groups are steering us towards their new world. Because they live for control. You can live in a hazy, gauzy dream that siphons away your energy, or you can embark on a new course of adventure that strips away the veneer and the shadows. You can believe you are helpless before larger forces, or you can invent a different vision for yourself. You can raise your children to be pawns, or you can inspire them with the knowledge of their own freedom and power.
Kennedy made a speech at American University in June of the year before he died, and he said, we live in one world, we got to breathe in the same air, and we got to live together, we're going to die together.
What happened?
You can leave things to others, or you can join in the fray. You can claim you don't know what to do, or you can figure out what to do on your own. When I started the site in 2001, I shoved all my chips on the idea that there were many individuals out there who could re-grasp their own power and figure out what to do on their own. I welcomed the old layer of media reality being stripped away, because that leaves the individual in charge. Toss that old chunk of mind control and hypnosis into the garbage and cross the threshold into a new time, the time you make. Don't complain, don't explain, you're the new elite. Accept it. An elite without the desire to control others, an elite based on merit, an elite based on life force, showing up when you know the future is unwritten. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so at all. The game is afoot. The game is always afoot, if you can see it.